Kyle Rush joins the show to preview the Auburn Football 2025 season. Let's get it.
You are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Uptempo Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Dustin Smith, joined by a special guest today, my guy, Kyle Rush from the barn. Kyle, football is finally started, my dude. The Auburn Tigers took to – I know, dude. They took to the practice field yesterday. And as you like to say, hulking super teens, I believe is the term that you like to use, man. I saw some videos of Jordan Crawford, Malik Autry, and I thought to myself, them boys are 18 years old? Goodness
you got
gracious.
a 17-year-old out there that looks like he's a junior in college. So they're big.
It's wild, man. Even a guy like Omar Maps in here, seeing him out there already, man. Just a team loaded. Really excited. We've talked all summer. We've had to do bold predictions and over-unders, and we've talked about every single topic 30 different ways, man. I'm excited that we're finally at the point where we can talk about some real football. Season less than a month away as we speak. The Hall of Fame game is on tonight. So preseason football, not the goal, but it's a start. It's a start. And I got Keandre Lambert-Smith out there making some plays. You'll love to see that, dude. So, man, let's get it right into it. One thing that has really kind of been a source of optimism for me over these last couple of weeks, the more I think on it, the more that I kind of want to add another win or two to my overall prediction, is the potential of this offensive line, Kyle. I heard you talk about it Wednesday morning. It was really kind of one of them things, SEC media days. I really just and kind of talking it out all week with people. I kind of thought to myself, like, man, if this hits, if these guys pan out, or even if they just get close to the ceiling, and we know it's on the outside, so like, what does that mean for the offense if the offensive line is able to mesh, if Xavier Chaplin does work out, if Mason Murphy is that guy on the other side, if all these pieces connect, what does that mean for the offense, and what does it mean for Jackson Arnold?
Man, I wish my wife talked about me like Hugh talks about this offensive line. He's seen, you can tell, you can sense it, how excited he is every time he talks about it. And I mean, you look across the board, you're averaging 326 pounds. You got two legitimate NFL prospects on the line right now. And probably Hugh mentioned that he talked with some NFL guys that said, what, 4 of them are draftable? Or maybe he said all 5. I think he said 4 out of the 5.
He said 5 and 2 Tall Miller as well getting a grade. Yeah. So 6.
I mean, draftable guys. Now, will all those guys get drafted? Who knows? But regardless, right. I think when you go back and look at offensive lines of the past, like Auburn's had some pretty scrappy offensive lines that have just been able to get it done, get dirty, get it done. But just when you have an offensive line that has like legitimate NFL dudes on it, like that just takes you to a whole nother level. The biggest thing, to answer your question, like what are the expectations if they're as good as they can be? I mean, Dustin, how good is it going to feel if think about as a play caller when it's 3rd and short and they know you have to run and there's maybe not anything they can do about it. You can just blow them off the ball. Like, what does that do with the playbook? That opens up all kinds of things. What if it's 3rd and 12? They know you got to pass. They know you got to pass. And you feel good about giving the quarterback, a couple of seconds to be able to make a couple of reads and get the ball out. As a play caller, I got to feel like it makes the playbook almost endless. It makes the playbook get bigger and bigger, whereas last year you're shrinking it lower and lower and lower. Okay. Becoming more predictable and more predictable. I got to feel like it just sort of, takes the chains off and lets you go. It's got to be a pretty good feeling. And I think that's why, when you hear Hugh talk about it, it's like he's like a giddy schoolgirl, like talking about the offensive line.
You mentioned those 3rd and 2s, being able to get those 2 yards when everyone in the building knows that you're going to run the football. That's the Auburn football that we grew up on, man. That was the identity of this program for a long time. And I felt like in the first 2 years, and especially last year, the run blocking for the most part was solid. But to me, it also kind of felt like the defense, where it's like for the most part it's solid, but on third and long, y'all give it up. It feels like the offensive line, even though they've gotten better under Hugh Freeze and Jake Thornton, in those critical 3rd and 2 moments that you mentioned, it felt like they weren't able to get them. I can go back to a few of those specifically in the big rivalry games where if you would have picked those up, it would have been different, and you just weren't able to get the push. So
exactly,
it's kind of the next step for the offensive line. But yeah, man, like if you're Jackson and that O line gets close, you just got to protect the football and get it to the weapons.
I mean, last year we griped about red zone play calling, but Auburn averaged less than 2 yards a carry in the red zone. It's like you get there, and when the defense knows it's run time, you gotta lean on folks to get it done. You just haven't been able to get it done. So when you can actually do that and win more battles than you lose in those scenarios, I mean, I got to feel like it just kind of opens up a whole new level of what this offense can achieve.
Yeah, I'm with
you. They looked the part, man. God, they look so big.
Yeah, we haven't had one look like that. Hey, speaking of big, I mean, I know you talked about it the other day. They're not going to probably be significant contributors this year, but Scholl and Ty Buster, dude, coming in and just putting on weight like those guys. I'm hesitant to say this with offensive linemen. I've only ever said it with Connor Lew. Those guys feel like can't miss guys to me, man.
Man, Scholl's what, 327, and he came in at like 289,
and athletic as hell.
And then like you said, you mentioned Ty Buster. He's already up over 300 pounds. Like, and these are true freshmen. I mean, you're sort of, when they talk about building the trenches, you're doing a really good job of it. And not only recruiting them, but then like developing them into, at least from the body standpoint, getting them in shape to be able to be ready quickly to go. I mean, Ty Buster was taking, I think it was either second team. I think he was taking some second team tackle reps, which is kind of wild. He's a player. And then again, Brody Scholl is going to be, he can be as good as he wants to be. He's got all the tools. He was actually, they slid him inside a little bit a few times to play guard, which was, different. But I mean, my God, he's 6'5", 327 pounds. Like, who cares? And he's, like you said, athletic. Yeah. Let's just build a wall, man. Build a wall all the way across.
Yeah, man. I'm really excited for this offensive line, the potential of the guys up front this year, and what you have in that room in the future. And it feels like early 2000s since I've been able to say that. So let's switch over to the wide receivers. It's been the talk of the summer. Everybody knows the potential. I'm just going to put you on the spot. I'm going to ask you straight up. I did a bold prediction the other day where I said that Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton will both have plus 750 yards, and both of them will have plus 7 touchdowns. But what I'm about to ask you, I'm hesitant on because of all the weapons. There's only one football, right? Is this the year, though? Does one of those guys, Kyle, get over 1,000 yards? Does Auburn have a 1,000-yard receiver in 2025?
If back in the summer when this was asked, I would have said the typical. I feel like everybody's going to cannibalize each other. Cam's going over 1,000. Like, just get ready for it. Cam's going over 1,000. You won't even believe, as good as he was last year, when you see this kid, when he steps out onto the field, even as big and as long as he looked last year, he looks even bigger this year. And he has a very determined mindset about him. When he talks, the way he works, the way he runs drills, like, hey man, you ain't got to be that serious. It's just the jugs machine. Like chill a little bit. But I mean, everything is like on point. It's sharp. It's aggressive. He seems locked in and ready to go. I just don't see any way you get that kid less than 1,000 yards. They're talking about third and shorts. They're talking about those third and short plays, and Jackson doesn't quite. Hugh said something like to the tune of like, we're close, but it's not quite where he's thinking the way I think, and we're working on that. He's like, but you know what? If you got a good matchup with Cam, throw it up to Cam. I feel like that's going to be a big part of the offense. Like if you get that matchup, if they dare put one child on Cam Coleman with nobody over the top, abuse them. Like give it to him, put it in the air. He is just going to be better than 9 out of the 10 guys that he goes up against. I think he goes over 1,000.
Yeah, I love it. I hope you're right. I mean, he's one of them kids that when you watch him play in high school, you're like, this is a top 10 pick. And then the fact that he come to Auburn and kind of just we got to use him the way we used him at the end of the season last year.
You know, yeah, he's healthy. He's healthy now. He's not going to be like he's going to start off the year like full health, no hammy, no shoulder, no nothing, ready to go, barring something crazy happening between now and kickoff. So I'm with you. I think he's going to be from game one. He's going to be the focus.
Yeah, you heard it here first, y'all. Cam Coleman, 1,000 yards. You got a number on the touchdowns?
I mean, I think at least 8 or 9. He's got at least 8 or 9.
Man,
double digits wouldn't be shocking for him.
Yeah. Then he comes into his junior season, high projected pick, all the things that could mean for the program. That'd be big time, man.
There's no reason why he can't be Jeremiah Smith. Like, there's no reason why he can't put those type of numbers up.
That's the part to me that I don't know if frustrating is the right word, but I'm looking at it. I saw Jeremiah Smith and kid's a beast. I'm not taking nothing away from him. Saw Ryan Williams, kid's a beast. Would have loved for him to have come to Auburn, taking nothing away from him. But I saw Cam Coleman, and I'm like, man, he's just as good as those two guys. He just wasn't able to get that shine the way they were on those winning teams. So I'm really hoping that Auburn can kind of get in that win column and Cam Coleman, because hey, people around the SEC know about Cam Coleman. He was voted first team All SEC preseason, right? Yep. But he's not on the level of those two guys yet. And it's just because he was on a 5-7 football team. I think the world this year gets to see just what Cam Coleman. He's just as good as those guys, man.
Healthy Cam is going to be dangerous, and on a good football team, I'm with you. He's going to get all he's going to earn the recognition that he deserves this year.
Well, everyone's talking about Cam Coleman. Give me a name of a guy that no one's talking about yet that at the end of the season everyone's going to know about.
You mean in the wide receiver room or just
just on the team in general? I mean, look at a guy like Caleb Harris last year or Jay Crawford, a situation like that.
So when I was at practice on Wednesday, you really only get to view the individual drill section. Like you don't really get to see any 11-on-11 or really any good one-on-one type stuff like wide receivers on defensive back. So I was really focused on the defensive line and looking on the defensive side. And again, the standard of defensive lineman is Keldrick Falk. Like, so when you're talking about dudes that stand out, it's like, who's not named Keldrick Falk that stands out because he looks like a creative player. But I'm telling you, two guys that I really think are going to be, they may not be starters, but they're going to be key contributors and may eventually work their way into starters. I think Chris Murray is going to be the transfer from Sam Houston State. If you want to talk about get off the bus looking like you want him one of the first couple of people getting off the bus, Chris Murray's one of them. He was going in on the second team at I think he was on the edge. So he's kind of backing up Kieran Crawford. And then Amaris Williams was backing up Keldrick Falk. So Chris Murray for sure is one I just see. Like, there's no way that kid that looks like that can't be good. Right. It's impossible. And then the other one is another transfer who I was like, he's one of those guys we got late and you're just like, you don't know a lot about him. It's kind of, cool. I don't know much about him, but James Ash from Florida at A&M, my gracious, he may be the best looking interior defensive lineman that we have from head to toe. And he was rotating in beside Malik Blockton quite a bit. Those two guys, when you just look out across the field, you're like, those dudes just look different. Like they just look different. And I think those are two guys that we don't talk about enough or haven't talked about enough. They're going to be a part of the rotation early. And I think both of them could make a huge impact. Hugh was talking about they really seem more, and maybe this is more Durkin than Hugh, but they really seem more like aware and cerebral of like what type of snap counts they already want to like utilize. He was talking about Jordan Crawford and Malik Autry. Like if we can get 15 out of those guys a game, 15 good ones, we're set. Like they already seem to kind of know how to utilize these guys and when they want to put them in and what they need out of them. I'm telling you, when you see James Ash in pads and those all whites on in Waco on that Friday and late August, you're gonna be like, my God, who the heck is that kid? Like I've never seen that kid. Who is that? He's a beast.
That's really kind of the big question to me on that defensive side of the ball is I love the potential of the defensive line. Obviously, you love what Keldrick Falk brings, but who is the second guy? I know we expect Karen Crawford to be that, and I think he's going to take a big jump in his second year. But if those guys if a guy like Murray can chip in and get 5 or 6 sacks, just help you out. And I think one thing that I really saw in Keldrick last year was he's just having to do too many reps, honestly. He's just kind of getting tired at the end of the games. You see him kind of getting banged up and still having to stay in there when otherwise, if you had a reliable option in there, he'd be able to come out and get some rest and you can get him back out there on third down.
Amaris is that guy. Amaris is that guy this year. They couldn't depend on him last year. They can depend on him this year. He's going to be able to keep Keldrick fresh.
Okay. I like that. And, this is one thing. I think me and you talked about it with Perry Thompson last time you were on, where a guy like Amaris, we're in this like sped up expectation age of college football where you have these high ranked freshmen come in and if you don't see something from them their freshman year, then, oh my God, they're going to hit the portal and what's wrong with them? And it's like, it's still SEC football and the kid's an edge rusher, man. Like, hey, props to him for coming out and admitting like that he didn't have the right attitude and he's changing his approach and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of these guys, man, it might take them a year or two to get adjusted to the highest level of college football.
KLS just caught a touchdown, by the way.
Let's go, KLS. Yay. Y'all got to steal Chargers in the 5th round, man. He is going to be a solid NFL wide receiver for sure. Staying on the defensive side of the ball before I get you out of here, brother. Last year, Auburn's defense finished 31st overall, one of the youngest defenses in the SEC in college football, really. Can they take that next step to a top 15 defense? Again, 31st overall last year in total defense. Can they finish this year in top 15 in that statistic and maybe create a few more turnovers along the way?
The only thing that would keep them from doing that is if the offense is so good that they stay on the field. You know what I mean? Like, or vice versa. If the offense is bad and they're on the field a lot, like the defensive line is deep. They're everybody. So you got Keldrick Falk, you got Malik Blockton. The guy beside Malik, I feel like is a little bit up in the air. I don't think that's really solidified yet. And then you got Kieran Crawford. If you can figure out the interior part right there, I think Malik Blockton is going to be solid. If you can figure out who goes beside him, and then the rotations, like linebackers, you only really need 2 or 3 based off of the offenses you play. And you got Riddick and Woodyard going in, right off the bat as 1 and 2 right there. And Woodyard changed his number to 0, and I hate 0, but for some reason it looks good on him. So he looks better. And then that defensive backfield, I've argued that when you really start walking through that depth chart as a whole, corners and safeties, it might be just as talented, if not more talented, than the wide receiver room. So I think they have the talent. And like you said, they got a ton of reps last year. It's really hard to imagine that they would regress, I guess. It feels like they should be taking a big step forward.
You think that Jordan Crawford finishes the year in that spot beside Malik Blockton that you talk about?
I think he's going to get every bit of those 15 plays a game. He looks like I don't know, this may be a little bit before you, but he looks like Glenn Dorsey from LSU. Like he is. Glenn, yeah. He is. He's not tall at all. Like I'm 5'10", 5'11". He's not, but a couple of more inches taller than me. But he's as wide as a refrigerator. But it doesn't look bad, if that makes sense. Like it looks good. Like he looks like an immovable object. So I thought he would have the best career out of anybody in that recruiting class. So I think he definitely gets in there. Malik Autry looks good too, man. He's lost like 30 pounds, looking lean and mean. So that young defensive line, that defensive line class from last year, it's pretty sneaky good.
Coleman.
Yeah. Coleman's got to gain some weight. I don't know what happened, but he's lost a ton of weight. But so he's probably not going to play that much this year. But he's such a good athlete. He's got to gain like another at least 15 or 20 pounds before he's ready to really be a contributor.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, hey, good haul in that class. We'll see how they all develop. Kyle, thank you for coming on today, brother. And I'm sure we'll have you on again before the season.
Appreciate you, man.
Tell everybody man, me too. It's going to be here before you know it. Kicking it off on a Friday night in Waco. How nuts is that going to be? We know Auburn's that's going to be a crazy game, right?
Oh, it's going to be wild. And they're not going to be pushovers either. So it'll be an intense first game.
Yeah, for sure, buddy. How can everybody follow everything that you got going on over at the Barn?
Yeah, man, just go to thebarnauburn.com, subscribe, and get in on the action where we have our recruiting news, team news, like practice notes, whatever. Jump in the conversation and have some fun.
Yes, sir. All right, man. This has been fun. Y'all go ahead and smash that thumbs up button, sub to the channel if you have not done that yet. Share this out on social media. Tag me, tag Kyle. Go ahead, hashtag level up, all that good stuff. And we'll see you on the next episode. It's Ward M Eagle, baby.